Even though 2018 is now known most for the US-China trade war and the ongoing Brexit situation, it is important to understand that the Italy crisis also has substantial financial implications upon its immediate neighbors and the rest of the world. The current economic and political situation in Italy has driven the country into a series of debts which have severely impacted the country. To summarize the event in one line, the crisis has been caused by the failure of the Italian institution to form a stable political coalition. Since March of this year, Italy lacks a proper established government. In the March elections, the populist Five Star Movement emerged as the party with the most amount of votes, which then attempted to form a coalition with the far right Lega Nord group. The coalition was successful to the extent that both the parties even agreed upon Giuseppe Conte to become their prime ministerial candidate. To the surprise of everyone, Giuseppe Conte resigned right after he was chosen for the post. The reason behind the surprise resignation is attributed to the fact that President Sergio Mattarella refused to have Paolo Savona become the economic minister of the country. Savona has always strongly opposed the concept of having a single currency. Unfortunately for Italy, both the coalition parties refused to offer any other candidate for the position of the finance minister. This caused the coalition to fail. In order to prevent the situation from worsening, President Mattarella appointed Carlo Cottarelli as the interim prime minister, who would also be responsible for conducting a fresh round of elections. All such decisions made by the president, including the refusal of appointing Savona as the finance minister and the appointment of Cottarelli as the interim prime minister, did not go well with the populist Five Star Movement, who decided to call for a vote of impeachment of the president. However, this impeachment move was not supported by Lega Nord. All of these political developments weakened Italy's economic and political system and caused its turmoil. Such situations have further weakened Italy's economic crisis. Italy has one of the largest debts in the world, 2.3 trillion euros, and it also has had double-digit unemployment figures since 2012. This debt amount of 2.3 trillion euros is nearly twice the amount that the laws of the European Union allow. In short, the Italian banks are in a mess. They are on the brink of collapsing and they are simply surviving because of the large amounts of money they are being provided with by the Italian government and the European Central Bank. Banks in Italy are closely connected to other banks throughout the European Union. All of these financial institutions are a part of a closely intricate group. Anything that happens to the Italian banks will have an impact upon the rest of the European continent. If Italy's debt payments go out of hand, an Italian default would occur which would adversely impact all the banks across Europe which hold Italian sovereign bonds. If the bonds continue to lose value, the banks holding them could completely fail, causing yet another financial crisis throughout the continent. The exit of the third largest economy in the single currency would weaken the entire system and create large amounts of doubt in the financial stability of the Eurozone. Furthermore, if Italy decides to leave the euro currency and adopt lira instead, financial investors in Europe would face massive losses and another crisis would get triggered. One of the solutions offered to solve this issue has been presented by the French President Macron. The French President is suggesting to reform the entire euro system by having all the Eurozone governments take on each other's debts and be responsible for the banking and financial stability of each member of the single currency. This would potentially create a fiscal banking union which would allow the smooth functioning of the euro. However, one of the largest obstacles in this plan is that it involves large transfer of money from richer countries such as Germany to relatively financially weaker countries like Greece and Italy.